Watermelon sugar.
Watermelon sugar. Watermelon sugar.
It's Mikayla Johnson with That's So Mikayla. I brought a special guest in today.
Cris Cola.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, lately I've been living in LA. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee originally though. I do music, I model, I act, I do it all.
Cool. In 3 to 5 words, describe your style of music.
My style of music is throwback, nostalgia, lyricism, real type music where you're saying something instead of just the trendy type music.
Awesome. How old were you when you knew music was your passion?
Probably like 5 or 6 years old. I remember E1 had this dance scene with the broom, and I used to do that all the time. Off that, I used to play guitars all the time. I started writing my first rhyme when I was like 9 years old though. I was a big Bow Wow fan, so yeah, I got influenced by a lot of different stuff real young.
What have you learned from being in the music industry?
Be you. That's the most important part. Be you, because you go stand out. Even though a lot of people being somebody else and they still doing well, but I learned you be you, be genuine, and really focus on the art instead of just focus on something just they can get by. You focus really on recording the music, make sure that's off top good, you go be straight.
Agree. How do you separate the artist life from your personal life?
I really don't. It's about the same, like I said, because I'm not being no character. Cris Cola is not no character. Cris Cola is really me, it's really Cris, So I don't really separate it really too much. Not yet, I'm not that big of an artist yet. So probably when I get more fame or more money, I might have to separate a couple things.
How do you feel when you perform on stage?
Performing on stage really is a good feeling because it shows the work that I put into the music. Putting that live performance by it brings it out. People understand what I'm coming from a little bit more because I can have more emotion, right there in front of their face with it and I just listen to it. So I like performing the music. I haven't performed in a little while though, especially this year though. So I'm looking forward to get back to that next year.
And then adding to that, I feel like being an artist allows you to connect not with just your fans, but connect with their emotions and their soul and their feelings. So I feel like being an artist, not just for you, but for me too, because I'm an artist, it just helps to know that you can touch one life at a time.
Right, that's true.
Okay, next question. What or who inspires your writing?
What or who? Inspire my writing right now? Like what I listen to?
What you listen to and...
I'll tell you this, what inspired my writing the most is me traveling. I'm be honest with you, that broadens my pen out. I love getting inspiration from different things, not just materialistic things, you know what I mean? So I can just go travel somewhere, now I get a thought, I might listen to some old classical music, some Al Green, some Marvin Gaye or something that throw me in the mood. Or I might listen to some old hip hop or something that throw me in the mood to write. Anything I can get some true inspiration from.
What has been your biggest challenge in the music industry, and how did you combat it?
My biggest challenge is getting people to listen. Nobody don't want to listen no more. Everybody just so fast, moving so fast, you know what I mean? So that's the biggest challenge, getting people to sit down and actually listen to the music. Because if they hear something, if they don't catch the vibe off top, because like I said, I make a lot of nostalgia type, hip hop type music. So if you're not already in that type of frequency, you already on some type of different vibration, it might be something that you get thrown off from off the top, but if you sit down and actually listen to it, you might catch something that you like,
Where do you see yourself in 2 years?
On top.
Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up.
here to make your dreams come true and do it right. I've been doing music for a little while, but I'm always kind of inconsistent. I always do music, but when it comes down to the marketing and the branding, I be kind of inconsistent with that. So I'm trying to get a little more consistent with that. So I keep doing what I'm doing right now. We by a good year, I'm gonna be recognized. I need to be recognized. 2 years, I'm gonna be straight.
How does your music and how do you feel your music can touch the world?
Touch the world. I mean, I'm not really worried about the world. I'm really worried about our people, man. You know what I mean? So I'm really trying to touch some young black folks. You know, young black boys and the girls. So mainly the young black boys, because they really influenced by the wrong stuff. You know, people with the main influence ain't influencing the right things. You know, they making stuff that ain't cool. So I'm really trying to reverse that train of thought. You know what I mean? If they see somebody that's, you know, I'm in my 20s, but they see somebody that's young and doing his thing and living a certain type of way that's normal, but ain't really, you know what I mean?
It's like they're living one life and then behind cameras they're living.
Yeah, everybody living a facade, you know, everybody got to prove how hard they is, how much money they got, how many women they got. You know, it just ain't nothing authentic no more. It's like ain't nobody down to earth no more. So I'm just trying to teach young players, you ain't gotta act like that. You ain't gotta be that way. Be you. Focus on what you gotta do. Focus on your family. Get you some money, that's cool. But don't put money over everything. Cause I made that mistake, chasing money instead of chasing that dream. That's why I got stagnated. You know, I had people in my ear telling me, get some money, instead of telling me just chase my dream like I should have been doing. Cause if I would have did this 10 years ago, I would have been straight like that.
What's your favorite quote?
One of my favorite quotes come from one of my songs called Wishing on a Star. It's off my tape called Wild Wishing on a Star, which is on all platforms that I dropped like a year or so ago. But on that song, on the hook, I said, when you wishing on a star, don't forget who you are. That's one of my favorite quotes because I know some people that's, you know, as you go up the ladder, they say you change, or the people around you change. So I hear that a lot, you know, and even people that, I got some family, you know, back at home in Memphis, they might think I'm changing just because I'm leveling up a little bit more. You know, people got their messed up way of thinking. So one of my favorite quotes is, while you wishing on a star, don't forget who you are. So while you wishing on the better things and while you leveling up, don't forget who you are. You know, stay true to you at all times.
Now, Chris, this is how we do. I'm gonna put on my shoes. We're gonna switch up the language and do a dance and flow challenge. I'm gonna see if I can dance to Chris's song.
Think I'm going to sun. Think going to sun. Yeah. Think I'm going to sun. Think I'm going to sun. Free my nigga rock. Still swerving cutlass on the block. Keep a 38 extended, yo, on you looking probably flop. All them sacrifices, we've been through this crime, gotta stop. I'm sick of losing all my brothers. Keep your mind up on your stock. But broke is not an option, I'm a dog hustler. Only 9 years old, still working with some customers. Can't trust a soul, I seen a hard time, but let them go.
Yeah, everybody, this your boy Cris Cola. Make sure y'all check me out on Instagram at Cris Cola. Once again, CRISCOLA_. On Instagram and Twitter. Check me out on YouTube. Check me out on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, anything you listen to music on. And I want to give a big shout out to Beast Made Magazine. Please follow them on Instagram and Facebook.
Check out Beast Made Magazine, the website. We'll see you on the next episode. Who's gonna be next? It's gonna be you. Bye!